Hello, welcome to the newspaper review here on Tab TV, and it's the third day in the month of April. Happy new month to all of you, our viewers, and thank you for joining us. With me here on the program is Victor Sioku. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Happy new month to you.
I wish you the
I hope
same.
your weekend went smooth.
Yes.
There were some interesting matches that were played over the weekend, and one of the ones that caught my attention the most was that of Liverpool and Man City, right? And then that match was awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Even though, there was the fear that, okay, let it be that, Arsenal remains far away from, what's their name? Man City. But somehow that wasn't the case. So that has put more pressure on Arsenal to work harder to ensure that they continue to, progress as the lead runners of the league. All right, today we'll be bringing you the headlines across newspapers because that is what we do here. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, what are you waiting for? Do well to subscribe right now as you're watching this video. Click on the subscribe key and also turn on your notification because that will help you get notified whenever we come up with a new episode of the program. But for today, let's go straight to taking the headlines. And we begin with This Day newspaper for today, the 3rd of April, 2023. On this day here, we have as headline, Reuters survey at about 1.6 BPD. Nigeria's oil production was OPEC's biggest increase in March. Expert urges next government to employs independent, powerful regulator for oil gas industry. Say regulator in mode of CBN needed to strengthen oil sector activities for increased FX earnings. All right, fine story on page 5 of This Day newspaper. Moving downwards, same on This Day. See, Buhari, Abiodun, Dabiri, Erewa hail Anthony Joshua's defeat of Franklin. The fine story is still on page 5 of This Day newspaper. Weekend's police arrested APC lawyers filing petitions in Rivers, Cole alleges. Weekend's police arrested APC lawyers filing petitions in Rivers, Cole alleges. You see story on page 43. And just before we carry on with the newspaper headlines, that story has, progressed into something really dramatic. Just a few hours ago, we saw supporters of both the APC and the PDP clash just on the major Aba Road close to INEC office. And of course, police came in and dispersed the crowd with bullets and tear gas. Unfortunately, some people got injured from stray bullets, which is quite unfortunate. We want to think that the police are very professional in dealing with crowd and cases like this. But most times when they come out, people get injured, people get hit by stray bullets and all of that. Quite unfortunate. Yeah. But that notwithstanding, we are hoping that the APC and the PDP in Rivers State should take things easy. The elections are over. We know that some people are still disgruntled. They are looking for a way forward as to prove their cases that, okay, we won this or this was right and that was wrong. But please let it not lead to more loss of life as we carry on, because they've already given certificates to most of these governors-elect already, and they're just waiting to hit the ground running. So please, let's take it easy while we try to seek redress concerning these issues. Do you have anything to add to that?
You said it all because, come to think of it, the elections are over. Yeah. Our politicians, especially the core politicians, they should try to hold the peace, okay? Yeah. Try as much as you can not to incite violence, okay? What happened, as far as I'm concerned, what happened at the hotel is insightful, whereby the police came, bundled the politicians there with their evidence. Not just politicians, they say mostly lawyers. They bundled them up, send them to the police station, and for me, that would cause some level of incitement, and I believe that is the reason why today being Monday, they are on the street,
yes. And that for me is also very, very intimidating. I mean, there is freedom of expression. People are meant to actually go ahead to seek redress legally, which is what that the candidate of the APC, Tonyeko, was doing. And he is following the legal aspect, like following the actual way he should go, which is the law. He shouldn't be stopped by any means. And tagging the gathering as something illegal or making it look illegal is very out of place. It's very intimidating and it shouldn't be done. Now look at this morning. They were on the street to protest that, and then we had a counter protest, which has led to people getting injured by the same police that has been, somewhat controlled by, the state government. And that's very, very wrong, if you ask me. The River State is not for just a particular set of people. River State is for everyone, every Nigerian, every Rivers man, and they have the freedom of expression. They should be able to say that this is not going well with me. Please, what as the court or what does our justice system have to say about these things? So please, our governor should step in and try to calm things down. And if he's not aware of or in support of these people from the PDP that are doing this, counter protest or whatever move they're making, please, he should try and, put them back in order. Let us have some peace while, these guys seek redress in court. All right, let's move on with other headlines. We're still on this day newspaper. We see here, Falana, president can't withhold assent to constitution alteration bills. President can't withhold assent to constitution alteration bills. No president must sign. Justice Okeke ruled in 2010, I beg your pardon. Also, the big headline on this day says here, Tinubu begins team building, considers Gbajabiamila chief of staff. Wale Edun Bagudu also in high consideration for key roles. Soyinka advises president-elect to either restructure Nigeria or fail. Insists nation won't cease demanding change. All right. We also see a picture of the Olu of Warri right here on this day newspaper. And let's move on to the main issues for this paper. And for me, the one of them is that of Tinubu trying to build his team because we're just about a month away to his swearing in. And it's only proper that for a government like Tinubu that is coming at a time where Nigeria is so divided, so much under pressure. A lot has happened. A lot of water has passed under the bridge. One would expect that government should hit the ground running and begin to rebuild this nation as quickly as possible, begin to unite this country as quickly as possible. And one is not surprised at the fact that he has begun to set up his team. What's your take on that?
Okay, I think Bola Ahmed Tinubu, if he gets to the seat by May 29th, I see him as somebody that will not make the mistake of the current president, whereby the current president, Muhammad Buhari, it took him up to about 6 months for him to be able to gather his ministers together. When those ministries were lacking in leadership, there was nobody to administer them. And mind you, at that particular point in time, the economy was just going down.
Yeah.
Mind you, towards the end of the reign of Goodluck Jonathan, we were having a whole lot of crises, especially economically. And when the new president came, there was just this, yes, there were just still instances like this. Was he being voted for? People were mourning the defeat of Jonathan.
Yeah.
Okay, and at the same time, some persons they did not see hope. Okay, from the Buhari. Then at a time he was now being called is it slow poison or slow poke or all those ill words that they were using at him. So the good thing about it is that the same Buhari has also tried to put out a law that most politicians or head of leaders, our leaders, should be able to select their member of cabinet way before 6 months. Okay, so I believe the way Tinubu is acting, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is acting, you will see a man that now understands that Nigerians need help. You will see somebody that wants to rewrite his name from some persons that see him as not having the true character of a leader.
That
So-
he doesn't have the capacity,
Yes.
but then he wants to prove them wrong.
Yes, I believe he wants to prove them. Like what is happening right now, you find out that yes, he's not in the country, but there are still strong indications that
He's in charge. Things
he
are
is in charge,
happening.
and his members, the suspected members of his cabinet, are out there with him. Some say he's in France, some say he's in the UK. But if you check out somebody like Femi Gbajabiamila, like I think it was mentioned there, who fingers are being pointed to be the chief of staff. Some persons are there saying that he already is even doing the work of the chief of staff already, because he is putting in the papers, putting in work to recruit people for the president-elect. And we have somebody else like Wale Edun. Wale Edun was the former commissioner of finance when Tinubu was governor between 1999 and 2007. So there is this hard indication saying that he might become the minister of finance. And we also have Fashola. Fashola, yes. Fashola is also looking at becoming a top member of the cabinet. We don't know which.
And then we also, let's not also forget that he's still in this current government that is outgoing. He has served here as the minister for 8 years. And now, he's also been figured as a possible member of the incoming government. So you could see that, well, I don't know what we can attribute that to, whether it is based on the fact that he has proven time and time again that he's a leader with a lot of capacity and to deliver, and probably maybe to his integrity as to his work style is really high, and maybe that's why he's been.
Personally, I'm looking forward to see Fashola in this government, no matter where he swings to, because I see him as a true worker, a true leader. I see Fashola. I have so much respect for him. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, maybe lastly, we'll also look at somebody like Rufai. Rufai. Okay, let me just stop here. We have Rufai, and there are still strong indication that he might become the national security advisor. But there are still some arguments out there. Okay, one might call it beer parlor argument, one might call it round table argument. What are these arguments? If he becomes NSA, as a national security advisor, how will people look at him? Reason, because he is from Kaduna, the current governor of Kaduna, and you ask what happened during the train abduction.
How did he react?
Yes. How did he react? What? Not just about that. What about the communal crisis in Kaduna? How was he able to resolve those crises? Now carrying a bigger problem,
which is the whole nation.
Which is the whole nation. You will not stop talking about the Northeast. Mind the Northeast is still out there. What about the Middle Belt? What is happening by the Middle Belt? The insecurity hovering around that region. What about the Niger Delta, where people know the hair word? What about the oil theft going on? How will he be able to? So I'm sorry, I mentioned yes, I want to see Fashola, but personally, I don't think it will be nice or right or responsible for Rufai to become the NSA. Rufai already is a controversial person.
Highly controversial with the way he talks, the things he says. Very highly controversial, and he's been very critical of the Buhari that he says is his brother and his elder brother, whatever. He has been very critical about some policies that has been churned out by this current government. So I don't know, but our fingers are crossed. We also have our governor, Nyesom Wike, which has come out, who has come out to say, I supported the APC because I'm a strong believer of a South presidency. And if he has said he has supported the APC, we all know Wike that he's not a man that does things for the doing sake, because I just want to help you. It must have been that there was an agreement of some sort. If I'm giving you votes from this way, there must be something coming in. Do we see him coming out somewhere in this government, in this cabinet?
Personally, for cabinet, I don't think they will be able to give him anything there, because he will go there and just cause troubles. Because he's in the PDP, and he doesn't look like someone that will be leaving the PDP. Because just like you mentioned, look at what happened at near the INEC office in GRA today. The APC in the state don't want Wike to come and join them. It's just like mixing, will I say, oil and water together. It will not work. So for them to go and give him a position, mind you, APC is just also too big. APC is bigger than the president-elect, as far as I'm concerned. So if he brings that kind of hand, they might go against him, and man, it might cause a whole lot of riots up there in the leadership.
But looking at past antecedents, we know that Bola Ahmed, while he was governor of Lagos State, has tried to diversify his appointment to ensure that people from different backgrounds and ethnic nationality and all of that.
But not from different party.
Not from different party though. But I was going to ask that, is it possible that for this time, those people that have helped him from different states, because we understand that we saw PDP states vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu based on whatever agreement they have that we don't know. One of those states was Rivers State, and a few others that we saw that he won, that he couldn't have won just like that. Must have been that they agreed to help him. But is it possible that this very one time this agreement that they have has to do, possibly may have to do with appointments into his cabinet, or could it be contracts?
Contract. My brother.
Or they did it for free. For the
it can't be for free.
No,
we can't do that for free.
It can't be for free. He has said it time and time.
But like he also mentioned in one of the videos that we saw out there, that he needed somebody that he will support that will help him to become politically relevant. Okay. But in the other side, people are also seeing it that he supported Tinubu just so that the EFCC will not be after him and Fubara.
Well, Fubara is already, secured.
President-elect. No, president-elect. Governor-elect.
Okay.
It is until May the 29th. Anything can happen tomorrow and Fubara can be picked. And be indicted. Before he will not be sworn in. He cannot. Well, let's not just dwell over
anyway,
there. Okay?
You're right.
But I think I need to also mention this. Tinubu, yes, is being seen as somebody that will involve the Igbos, not minding what has happened in Lagos, because back in 1999 to 2007, he had the Igbos and other people from different parts of the Niger of Nigeria join his government. But it will be very, very critical this time around. Reason because when you see in terms of ethnicity and religion, I need to mention this is Nigeria. I'm sorry if I'm offending you with that, but if you check very well, you find out that the Muslim is the president, Muslim is the VP. What then happens to the Senate president? And what then happens to the House of Representatives, the Speaker of the House of Representatives? Now, there are stronger indications that he could still return that the Muslim will become the Senate president. Okay. But you still have, I think I would say, two more contenders there, aside from any Muslim person, is Orji Uzor of Abia State and Akpabio of Akwa Ibom. But what if Umahi, and Umahi is very close to these people. What if they give it to Umahi? But when you also come from the part of experience, Umahi has never tested it. So they need at least somebody that has at least minimum of 4 years
in the house.
The house. Okay? So when it then happens, if Orji Uzor becomes Senate president, which I'm seeing it as a very, very slim chance. Okay? Because of what the clamoring I have. Look at what Aline Dume. Let me save your time. Look at what Aline Dume said yesterday during an interview yesterday, that these guys are already buying the position.
Wow.
He was just so plain. He even mentioned, during the APC, although he was indirect about it, that during what has happened before within them, that we saw where people were sharing dollars. So that could still play a role, whereby a Senate, a politician from a northern state will come out with deep pockets, share the money, and becomes the Senate president, and nothing will happen. Even if Tinubu says that no, let's leave it for the Igbos. It's still left for the 109 senators
House,
to come out and select who they want to select. So, but let's see how it plays.
I'm just going to kill that story by saying that if the people don't want you to be their leader, why buy your way there? Why buy your way to getting into power?
But Mr. Abule, it's very, very simple. 109 persons choosing who they want to lead, who will lead them. If out of, let's say, 80 bring out, are willing to accept the money,
that's it.
It is gone. 2/3 is gone.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? So it is about them right now. Or they might say, okay, you collect this position. You know how they do now. They can share it within themselves. The other positions in the house, committees, head of committees and all that, share it among themselves and tell those guys, you become, but I will not give you, let's say, for instance, $100,000. I will not give you money. What I will give you is the position.
Very true.
They will negotiate. Nigerians will be here.
All right.
Crying about fuel and
we need to move along, but then we'll take a short break. So let's take a quick short break. Once we come back, we will continue with the newspaper headlines. Please do stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there. Are you looking to record your videos, do your voiceovers, and take your professional pictures? Look no further. With our state-of-the-art newsroom, photography, kitchen for our food content creators, and exclusive children's studio, we certainly can deliver the best studio experience. Our carefully designed studio space can bring your diverse creative content ideas to life. We aim to consistently serve value to our customers far and wide. Come, let Tharv Media give life to your dreams. Tharv Media, a slice of infotainment.
All right, you're welcome back from that very short break. We're still here on the newspaper review right here at Top TV. And today is the 3rd of April, 2023. We are going straight to our next paper, that will be the Nigerian Tribune. And here we have as headline, Governors, CBN, EFCC, ICPC, FIRS meet Tuesday on security votes, cashless policy. Why EFCC was involved in 2023 general election, Bauer speaking there. Then you find story on page 25 of the Nigerian Tribune. As the main headline here on the Nigerian Tribune, leaked phone talk between Obi Oyedepo causes fury. It is mischief, subterfuge, a deep fake Obi Dati campaign cancel. I have never campaigned for anybody or spoken anybody on anybody's behalf. Oyedepo speaking. Obi's desire to be president has died a natural death. Kayamo. Unauthorized wiretapping of private telephone conversations worrisome. Ogunda Misi. You find that on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. Also, other headlines here. Nigerians will not cease demanding restructuring. Soyinka speaking there. Rivers Police explain detention of election materials after release of lawyers. Arrest of lawyers, an aberration. Proof Nigeria is dysfunctional. Lawyers speaking there. You find story on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune. And I'll take this last one on the Nigerian Tribune. It says NDLEA declares prophetess, celebrity couple wanted over seized illicit drugs. And those people that the NDLEA are referring to are right here in River State. Very sad, but then we're monitoring that story. We see how the outcome will be. But let's go to the main headline here, which says leaked phone talk between Oyedepo and Obi causes fury. I mean, this has been trending all through the week. What do you make of that phone call and the stories following? So
just very quickly, some people interpreted it, especially the APC, interpreted it as a treasoning and a criminal act. Okay, but going down to details, let's not forget that there is a deep issue about the country, Nigeria, and the oneness of this country. Okay, if you go back from not just 1960, even from 1914, there has been division about Christianity, about ethnicity in this country.
Sure.
Okay, so what is happening right now is that everybody is looking for that opportunity to mine whatever information they have that might relate about ethnicity and religion. Now, but from my own side, we need to also abide by the Constitution, we need to also not incite violence. Okay. What am I saying? What is good for the goose is good for the gander. So, in this case, when this voice note was released, Keyamo, in his magnanimity and power and influence, went so hard on it, because right now you find out that these people are still in the mood of politicking. Okay, he went out, opened it up the further and blasted it, saying that Obi needs to be investigated, that he needs to. But you know what happened during those times when he had his own issues. But what am I saying too is that B2B has come out to say that the Obidati team and the Labour Party have come out to say that it was doctored. One, just like also you mentioned, Oedebo said that he never campaigned for anybody. Yeah. Okay, but if you go further, you find out that it is a norm in the Nigerian politics that our traditional rulers, our religious rulers and leaders, they are into politics.
Yes, they always support one party or one candidate or something.
Yes,
it might not be an open campaign,
yes,
but you could see their body language and some of the indications they begin to put out, saying, okay, this is where we should go. Because it's just common sense not to be all about it in your church, saying support this person, support that person, by name that is. But then moves like inviting the person to your worship centers leading up to elections, allowing these persons to have, the pulpit to say a word or two, and then begin to say things that makes this person look, like the favored candidate. All of those are open support, open campaigns. But in saying that I didn't open my mouth to campaign for any candidate, that may be true. But of course, these moves, like I've mentioned, are also part of the support that. Why didn't you invite all the political candidates to your worship centers? You didn't do that. That didn't happen. So it's just clear that yes, those are very subtle ways of indicating that these are the candidates we are supporting religiously, as it were. Yeah.
But also, why is it true that when we have religious leaders and traditional leaders, I personally want them to also speak, especially when there is an issue out there and nobody is willing to talk it. Okay? So, in even cases where a leader comes out tomorrow and say, especially in the frame of things right now in this country, even if a religious leader, a Christian, a pastor comes out to say that, that the APC are about a particular religion, which is the Muslim religion, it is highly debatable, no two ways about it right now. People, we still have our freedom of speech or freedom to talk. Yes, there are limitations to that, but in this case, where a government is coming out, is going to be elected for the first time, where you have a country of Nigeria where you have almost the same number of Muslims and Christians, but in this case, you are now having a president that is a Muslim and a vice that is a Muslim, and you think the other side shouldn't talk? Also, let's come to reality. Also, what if it was the other way around, where you have a Muslim president and a Muslim vice president? My brother, with the current state of the country and history, Nigeria will not enter for those people. It will not work.
Very true.
Let's face the fact. So, well, no violence.
My concern or my worry in all of this is how these politicians and their spokespersons are beginning to form a narrative on a particular very dangerous line that they are towing just because they want to put some people down and ensure that, okay, whatever moves you're trying to make, we want to squash it while we remain, in control of what is our wins. But then it's a very dangerous thing they are doing. Now, it was just a very straight phone call that a lot of people wouldn't have read meanings to, but politicians have come out. People like Festus Keyamo have come out. Besides, this phone call was a phone call. It wasn't a public speech. It was a private conversation. But now, some set of people have gone to pick out this private conversation, listen to it, picked out what they think can be interpreted as religious insight or indictment or whatever. And then here we are. Nigerians and the world at large are beginning to say, okay, is there something we did not hear well in this conversation? He said, for Christ's sake, it was a private conversation. Why is it now a public matter? And let them go back and play tapes up to 1 year. There was no time that Oyedepo came out in the pulpit to say, oh, this church must vote for Peter Obi. This church must vote for the Labour Party. You cannot catch it or get it on tape anywhere, else it would have been put out. It was a private conversation that he had, and most of the time you heard him praying for the man, saying, we're going to this, we're going to that, in Jesus' name, and all of that. So they picked up one line, just one line, where Obi said, this is a religious war. And that's it. It's a religious war, right? Okay, so he's towing this path. Let's go for it. You should tone this thing down. They did this in Lagos. We watched Lagos almost went up in flames over, ethnic bigotry. Now we're back to the religion. What are they doing? And we know what this has done to other African countries that didn't checkmate this. We know what it has done. Until today, such countries are still trying to recover from their losses. Nigeria is such a great country that has so much potential to be even bigger and even turn out someday to be a world power. But politicians are not allowing this country to breathe.
Okay, you talked about the spokesperson. What is wrong with the spokesperson of this politician?
Yeah.
Because of antecedents, because of history. If you can go back, if you note when Olabodeyan of the PDP was in full force, was very active, you will notice that he was doing his bidding so that he will be noticed as the spokesperson. So right now, when they give you that position, spokesperson, you want to be so loud, you want to find controversy so that you can just pop up your name. Look at during even the time of Lai Mohammed, when he was
active. True.
He was fully active, and he was dishing it as buzzwords. So that is their antecedents.
Even over very, very irrelevant matters, things that didn't make sense, he will talk and say one offline that will make him trend for weeks on Twitter and all of that. He didn't mind, But then here we are again, and it's happening. But I'm just so worried about the risk in being so loud and not thinking about the collective. Nigerians, as it were, when these spokespersons are beginning to canvass for positions in the incoming government, and they are doing all of these things, there's a risk in all of this, especially towing this part where you say, oh, Peter Obi is being religiously, unfair to some sects and this and that and that. You're reading meanings to things that shouldn't be. Some people can take it up, and that war, that problem that everybody is looking away from, because Nigerians have gone through a lot, but Nigerians have also been very calm. Just imagine after the election, there was no protest. That what happened to the Labour Party vote or any other party's vote. There was no crazy protest on the streets of this country, because Nigerians just said, these guys have done their worst again, let's move on. And that's what has been. Why go to try to dig up things that are not really healthy for us at this time? But we're watching how that story progresses, but we hope that it doesn't go beyond what we are sensing. Let them do as much as they can to begin to stop most of the things that they are doing, especially the spokespersons of these political parties. They should tone it down, and tone it down real quickly. All right, let's jump into our last paper for the day, and that will be Vanguard. Vanguard for Monday, 3rd of April, 2023. We see as headline here, APC propaganda can stop pursuit of mandate Obi. Also, just right besides that, you see this one about BB Naija. Apparently, Big Brother Naija was it Big Brother Naija this time? It was Big Brother Nigeria and South Africans teamed the BB Titans, and that was also running side by side, the elections and everything. And that's why, of course, a lot of Nigerians didn't get to pay attention to that. But somehow the show came to an end yesterday evening, and a winner emerged, and it's South Africa's Kosi, and she gets to walk away with
Okay,
a 100.
South African one.
Yeah, it's a South African lady.
Good for
South African
the,
lady.
good for the continent.
She won this time around, and she gets to walk away with $100,000, which is about 46 or 45 million naira in Nigerian currency. Plus, of course, other attractive gifts like a house and a car, and of course, many deals that follows that win. This time around, Nigerians did well, made it to the final, but of course, they didn't carry the day. Let's move on with other stories here on the Vanguard. The main headline says governors meet with EFCC, ICPC, FIRS, CBN on security votes. Meeting at instance of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU. Misconceptions about security votes will be cleared. Autumn. Oshu Benue governors welcome meeting. Page 5 is where you get details of that story. Moving on to all the stories here, it says Constitution Amendment, Lagos, Akwa Ibom, Rivers orders $10 billion power sector investment investigation. You find story on page 8 of the Vanguard newspaper. We also see Alkali resigns as NNPP national chairman. Bandits kill 12, abduct 26 in Niger. Katsina, stories on page 6. 10th National Assembly leadership, power blocks strategize, await Tinubu's return. Page 19 is where details of that story is. All right, let's look at the governor's meeting with the EFCC and other, anti-graft agency, including the FIRS and the CBN on security votes. What's your take on that story?
Interesting time. If the EFCC, the CBN, the NFID, if they can all come together and fight this cause, just giving their 20%, and the police giving their 20% into this investigating votes, of security votes, have it's been spent, my brother, only 20% of what they put, almost all the governors will be in jail. Why do I say that? A governor's salary should be what the governor should be taking care of, as in be taking care of him and give him a house. But most of these governors, after 8 years, if you go to their village and maybe the town they want to go and stay, the kind of house that they will, I'm just saying about house, just only house.
Yes, that's the one in this country.
In the one in this country that they are living in, you find out that their salaries for the past 8 years will never build those houses for them. I'm just saying maybe one township house and one village house. Now, we are not talking about other properties. We're not talking about their, would I say, jewelries. Oh my goodness. We're not talking about the cars, the fleet of cars that will now, by now, they started hiding it in some places.
Of course.
So you ask, it's very clear that if you are coming into government, you need to declare your assets. Abi? Then
when you're leaving,
when you are leaving too, you come and redeclare, like what will soon happen. Very soon now, they'll start going back to declare what they have acquired over the 8 years. And you just begin to wonder, is it that it is so deep that these guys cannot find out that this person has stolen funds? How are you able to make this other wealth as a governor? Show us evidence. So Nigeria, we've not started in this country. Even it should even be a normal thing that now we have BVNs, Abi. So to even find out how much the person is worth by liquid, one should know. Thankfully or not thankfully, the president tried in his own power to change the notes to a newer note so that these people will bring out all those bonnets so that the money will go back to the system. But now that whole thing has been frustrated by the government themselves and the CBN.
So that's how they make laws and break them, or try to find loopholes around these laws.
So there are some governors, I don't want to mention names, that the kind of property that they have now, you are seeing them, they don't even need to tell you that na him get am. But by the time you calculate the salary that has been paid, an allowance, let me even add the allowance, newspaper allowance, clothing allowance. By the time you add them up together, you will not be able to get that
to give them that. But then they own those things. So yes, and then this has continued for as long as our democracy has lasted. Even in the military era, we saw military leaders steal so much money. Like the Abacha loot is still being recovered till today. And one would ask, why are our leaders so bent on defrauding our nation every time in a country where poverty rate is so high? Poverty level is so high. People are dying of starvation every day. There is a lot of joblessness, but you find these leaders constantly take out of our coffers and they don't care. And the very reason why they are not, they are carefree about spilling blood to get into offices. They will spend so much to ensure that they make it there because they will be able to recoup it over time from, areas, loopholes. They've created so much loopholes for themselves that they still. As they are going out, they settle. These agencies, now they are having meetings. The security agencies, financial graft, anti-graft agencies are having meetings on how they are going to deal with, security votes, especially for the outgoings. But you will find out that will never see the light of day. This is the last of this report we might be hearing, possibly, except if, there is a possible change that is going on. But then, well, that's the state of the country.
And I think that the people that we are also engineering these atrocities by our politicians. Reason, somebody will come and open your mouth and say that after all, the governor did roads for us now. He built hospital.
Yeah. That kind of myopic.
We have gone mad.
Yes.
Madness is worrying us.
It is saddening.
When somebody is out there, a child is out there, common oppression, small oppression that might just cost maybe 20,000. The parents can't even afford it because of what? The hospitals are empty. Some of these people, they use your money and just build the building of the hospital. And they will not do anything inside.
And there's this phrase that most of these governors use when they say, I built the road for you. I built the hospital. I've been able to deliver. I have brought this. Is it you? Is it you or your office? Is it your money?
I wonder.
Did a penny of yours build any road for anybody in this state? So all of those things have given them this effrontery to think that when they give you a bridge or a hospital, they have done so much. And then, like you rightly said, because Nigerians are already so used to the fact that they don't get to see anything good come out of government. When a government begin to do what is actually expected of them as their responsibility, people begin to sing praises and begin to think that, oh yes, Jesus has come for the second time for them. But if you go to other clients, it is your responsibility. The fact that you didn't even deliver on certain projects, you could be sued by anybody of the state. But here, we don't get to see it. Now, watch it again. The same thing, like we said, the lootings will start again as they are leaving offices. But no single Nigerians will have the effrontery or the initiative to say, this ex-governor did this. All right, let me check what the Constitution says. If I can sue him to court for not declaring social asset. Nobody does that. But then we see when elections don't go well or one thing doesn't go well, these people will be so loud. These same politicians will be so loud. So they have conditioned the minds of a lot of Nigerians to be this way, where we accept every irregular thing to be regular, to become the norm. And that's where we are. And it's very sad. And we're hoping that's what a lot of Nigerians were hoping that will change. And they were thinking, okay, that will come from a person of Peter Obi. But unfortunately, they didn't get to see that. But look how calm the whole country is. And then we are hoping now that our President-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to bring in all of that energy to this government. Corruption, that was the mantra of the outgoing president, where he says that he's going to fight corruption so much, but we didn't see that happen. I hope that Bola Ahmed will have the effrontery, the bravery to pick up that mantle and fight corruption to the best of his ability. All right, do you want to add before we close?
Yes. Lastly, when you see what two persons have spoken, two politicians have spoken rightly for me this period. One is Amechi, which is also from the same APC, who said that we the people are the problem. That until we are ready, the youths are ready to change the narratives in this country, nothing will happen.
True.
Just yesterday, Senator Ndume, the Senator Ndume from Borno State, he also came out to say that the people are the ones allowing politicians to go mad. Let me just rephrase that way, to go mad. Now you wonder, elections have gone. Some of these same youths went out there to collect money from the so-called leaders, the so-called governors. You've collected money from them. You've, will I say, used violence to help the governor to put whoever he or she wants. Now, these governors are leaving. You are the same person coming out to say, he don't give us road now. He don't build house for this person. He don't give us healthcare center. Are you mad? Your own money.
Your own money.
Your own money.
Because that your small business that you're running in the state is being heavily taxed. Sometimes double taxation. And you pay all those money, where do you think it's going to? That is the same money you're required to ask for or to enjoy on those good roads or those roads that this government provide.
They don't know that the Abiola milk, as cheap as the Abiola milk that you are taking, that you are even still paying tax. You don't know that agege bread, that there is tax inside of it. You don't know that when you go to
Mr. Biggs or any of those
with your girlfriend,
yes,
you are still paying tax.
If you take time to look at the receipt, you see there the VAT that you pay for. What do you think that is?
Then the governors will now use that money, that your tax, and be spending it anyhow.
And then when they like
throwing parties,
like typical is the case of Abia State. I keep mentioning Abia State because it tried to paint the exact picture of what we talk about. Abia State, if you've been there before, you'll be shocked to your bone at the level of how would I put it, backwardness that is exhibited in that state. Bayelsa State too is close to that. Even though, there are a few, developmental projects here and there going on. Sometimes it goes on for many years. But Abia State was a very typical case where growth is very slow. But yet the governor tells or comes to tell you that they share, 500 naira to women that just give birth? He boldly says that. And he says things like, in Aba, they say we didn't do anything for them. We built Mr. Biggs for them. That kind of statement that I built. He said, I built Mr. Biggs for them. I. In a state that is so high in IGR. In a state that has a state inside a state like Aba. But yet, all those monies, all those taxes that will come out from that economy will go to the government, and the government will have the effort not to give back to the people. And then they come to make you feel like whatever we give you, you should be appreciative. Like here in Rivers State, the governor chooses the parts where he will develop. If you make too much noise on one certain area, you don't get anything. And he tells you to your face that those people are not loyal, so they don't get anything. But that is not the right way as it's supposed to be. That's not how governance is expected to be. But politicians have made this thing look so normal. Even when you come out to talk, you are being, bamboozled for saying the truth. And again, in fact, the people that will come after you is not even the politicians, it is your friend that is very ignorant, or two people next after you that will say, what is this one speaking about? What is this saying? Didn't this governor do that road? Didn't he give us that hospital? Didn't he this? Didn't he that? It is not him. It is not him. It is what is expected of the government that he was doing. So it is not about this man. But of course, it will take a good leader to be responsible enough to deliver these dividends of democracy, as it were. I want to thank you, Mr. Victor, for making it through. And our viewers, thank you so much for staying with us. We'll come with another interesting episode of the Newspaper Review tomorrow. So do well to join us on this station. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and subscribe to this channel and follow us on all our social media handles. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and of course on Twitter. So look at the handle addresses right there at the bottom of this screen, and do well to subscribe and follow us. Till next time I come your way again, my name is William Sabule, and this has been the Newspaper Review here on TAP TV.